tap on the window. They see the light on down here, 2 or 3 in the morning, and they say, Taylor, you are either extremely busy or you're slow. You know, you got to remember, I'm here all the time. I'm a homebody, so I see all these kids, and they see me, you know. So we get to know each other quite often. This is the only one that I can remember that drew a picture of me that looks like me. Isn't that great? She was 12 years old when she drew that. That's me. Born and raised in Knox, Indiana. No one has ever heard of Knox, Indiana. It was the county seat, 100 miles south of Chicago. I did the school newspaper. I designed it, worked with the editors, the annual, all that stuff. Painted the signs, you know, for the football games. I wanted to be, when I was about in the middle school, wanted to be a famous, that's a key word, famous cartoonist. I copied comic strips, comic books. When I got in high school, I discovered an article in, I think it was American Artist at the time. Now this is 50 plus years ago, 60 years ago actually. And there was an article about the illustrator of Tarzan comic strip. Beautiful stuff. And he happened to teach at the Chicago Academy of Fine Arts. So I enrolled there. They had a cartoon course. They also had lettering, layout, working with photographers, et cetera, et cetera. And I took a chance after I graduated. I took the train to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Charles Schulz was working and living. Charles Schulz is the cartoonist, or was the cartoonist on Peanuts comic strip, and that's who I wanted to work for. I spent 4 hours with him and his family, and the kids were that tall. They were Peanuts size at the time. Again, this was 55 years ago, probably, easily. Assistant job was not available. He never used one. He did toward the end on lettering, but he didn't for years and years and years. He did everything. Now, you have to remember, I was making $1.25 an hour and working out just fine in Chicago. And he offered me, if he was hiring, $150 a week. And my mouth dropped to the floor. And I said, I can move right now. I mean, right now I can move. Anyway, he didn't need help, but he was a delightful person. So I went back to Chicago and I said to myself, look, this is all I wanted to do. I wanted to work for him. I'll turn around and really learn all I can in commercial art. I walked into a firm called Advertising, Art, and Copy. There were 2 owners, just 2. And it was on the, what was it, on the south side of Chicago. And they hired me on the spot because they needed somebody to drive the Chevrolet and to pick up the typography and to go to the printers. I didn't do any board work for quite a few weeks, but it was pure luck, that's all it was. It had nothing to do with my portfolio, which was basically nothing. I just walked in at the right time. And I spent 3 years there, and I owe everything to those 2 guys. They taught me from the ground up. And my last year and a half in art school went real quick because I was working on problems which they had already told me about, fundamental-wise. It was wonderful. From that point, if you're interested, I went to Look magazine in Des Moines, Iowa. That was their direct mail department, huge department, because Look magazine was as big, as popular as Life, Saturday Evening Post, all these 10 by 13 trim magazines, huge magazines, wonderful to work on. And I spent 4 years there. And then to Appleton, Wisconsin for an ad agency for 10 years. A wonderful, wonderful experience, just excellent. I was an art director on about 3 local accounts. And we had a staff of 4 or 5 designers, plus 3 art directors.